Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jamie. Welcome to another episode of Marketing Uncut. It's where I basically just unedited videos, It's where I England raw, unedited videos, words, put some stuff up online. It's where I don't edit stuff and I just throw out a video that covers basically me documenting the last 10 years plus I've been online, hopefully helping a few of you guys out as well. So if that's of interest, feel free to hit the old subscribe button, all that type of stuff. And I will be doing regular content as well, so don't fret. They're not all going to be as disastrous as these. No, I'm kidding. They're amazing. So anyway, look, something occurred to me recently. Now, I'm going to say some stuff, and if you're a high-ticket affiliate coach or high-ticket affiliate marketer, or you're a coach, or you're some sort of online person that does stuff on the line, you know what I'm talking about. You sell information products or coaching or whatever, right? And say, for example, speaking specifically to the affiliates here in particular, you've just got started trying to find your way around this whole world, and you've seen some stuff, you've seen all these like screenshots and passive incomes and done for you, this, that, and the other thing, which is all well and good, don't get me wrong. It can happen, by the way, but don't let anyone fool you. It is not easy, okay? I'm yet to find, and if it is easy, then I'm yet to find it, all right? Like if you guys find out where the secret sauce is hiding, where all this done for you easy passive income stuff is, then let me know, hook me up, right? No, it is a bit of a journey, and so be prepared to work, be prepared to be very committed to this, and if you do, things can happen in a very short space of time. I have discussed this on this channel. You're welcome to go check out some of the other videos, but in order to snowball your results, it can happen really, really rapidly. And interestingly, if you just keep going at this stuff, especially once you've had a bit of traction, you started getting some momentum, started making a few sales, it kind of takes on this life of its own. Now, again, I've gone into that in other videos, so I won't bother about that here. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I am addressing the absolute newbies here, this is something that came up today in the Super Affiliate Accelerator coaching call that I had. One of the coaches there alongside Chris Donnelly and Jacob Karras, of course, the creator, and Flip Moss has joined us recently as well, which is really cool to have a fourth party there. And I don't even think it was off the back of a question, but I thought it was really relevant because I had an epiphany recently, and the epiphany was that the biggest battle that we face as marketers is to stay focused, in my opinion. Because if you look at, like, if you're cruising around online and you're looking at some stuff and the old Twitters and the Facebooks, all that type of stuff, and Instagram, blah, 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 what you'll find is that every person out there, every marketer has an angle. They have a way of doing things. They have a thing that's better than the next thing for a whole bunch of reasons, supposedly, right? Now, the thing is that most of them, if not all of them, work. Email marketing works, video content works, short form video content works, long form video content works, podcasts work, Facebook groups work, Facebook profile, Instagram, you name it, the whole thing works, right? Unless you're doing that scammy shit like Ponzi's and blah, 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 that will never work. And that's not something that I really would talk about that much on this channel, other than to warn you not to jump into Ponzi schemes. But anyways, I'm digressing. So here's the thing. If you have an expectation of, say, making the magic coveted figure of $10,000 per month, which is amazing, by the way, very, very doable. It's, if you're making $1,000 per sale, you're only looking at 10 sales per month. It's not a heck of a lot to find 10 people pay $1,000 for their getting coached and their education, things like that, right? So not super hard. Sorry, it is hard. Sorry, let me rephrase. It is not super difficult. No. Oh, God, bad to worse. It is simple, but not easy. That's what I meant to say, right? It is doable, right? Maybe I've got low blood sugar or something. Right, so think about that for a second. You want to target 10 grand per month, which is nice. It's a nice, chunky, round number. But what tends to happen for most people is they get sucked into the hype. Done for you. Passive income, do no work, get heaps of free money. It's simple. Just just need to push a couple of buttons, push button profits, blah, blah. And what that does is it caters to our innate desire for the ease in which we can obtain things. Now, not everyone thinks the same, but subconsciously, there's an element of our brain that likes it when we get free stuff, likes it when we get things easily, right? Because even though in order for you to grow as a human being, you probably need some hard stuff in the way to develop yourself mentally and emotionally and physically, all that type of stuff. Our innate desire, as far as I'm concerned, is usually geared kind of towards the ease of life. Think about when you ask someone, hey, what's your dream vacation? Well, normally it pops up, beach and sandy beaches and blah, 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 right? Like it's not normally, going for 100K runs and in the sweltering sun and, oh gosh, that'd be amazing. I mean, some people are like that, of course, but for the most part, most of us, we want to obtain things with a relative ease. So the reason why I say that is that I'm helping you guys thicken your resolve to stay the course, but I'm also allowing you and helping you see when there's a marketing angle at play. So again, going back, I'm circling around, but I'm like a politician, aren't I? Well, if that's the answer, I'm just going to go around like that. Anyways, so if you're aiming for 10K per month, right? And your expectation is because you've seen the pathway before, you've seen other people that have jumped into the thing that you're about to jump into, or you've just jumped into yourself, and they have gone out and absolutely obliterated it, right? Like some of our students, 0 to 10K in 30 days from scratch, right? Got a student at the moment, 100 sales in about 6 weeks, 0 to 100 sales, freaking insane. Very proud of him, made a ton of money, and he's doing really, really well as an affiliate. Here's the thing to realize though, is that these people are outliers. They are not the norm, all right? So it's something really important to understand. Because if you see all this marketing material, and of course I'm a marketer, I'm gonna put this stuff out there. So yeah, I'm showing you all my cards up my sleeve here, under my hat. Because we know that this stuff is out there. We know that these examples are there, which then highlights the quality of the brand that you're building. What it means is that you plant an expectation in your mind, right? And the expectation might be, I'm going to hit 10K in 90 days. I'm going to hit 10K in my first 6 months online. Could happen, by the way. Like, it's very doable. Like I say, not easy, doable. So when we have this expectation, and then we start down this pathway, and we realize there's all this mental stuff that we have to go through. There's all this unlocking of all our shit that we have to go through in there. And then the stuff that we're learning, sometimes we don't quite get it on the first try, or the 15th try, or the 100th try, just not quite clicking for whatever reason. Then all of a sudden, our expectations are shattered. And one of the keys to happiness, by the way, is when your reality exceeds your expectations. So conversely, when it's the opposite of that, and you've got a high expectation and you are not meeting those expectations, it plants a little seed in your mind. That's the international symbol for seed planting, apparently. I just made it up, so whatevers. So the seed gets planted in your mind that, well, okay, well, I must be missing something. And guess what marketers do? They know that you're thinking that. That's what we do. That's our thing, right? We know that. And so going back to playing on the ease in which people can obtain things, knowing full well that there's an inherent pain point that pops up when you've got an expectation that's not being met, then of course you go, okay, well, what am I missing? I feel like I'm following the plan. I feel like I'm doing the things. I feel like, whatever, right? And so this is important because it plays into that whole thing, like I was saying before, of the battle of staying focused. Because the battle is now in your mind based off the stuff that you're reading around you. Because you're out there searching for answers because of the seed that's been planted in your mind. Rather than just going, well, look, I can't control what someone else next to me is doing. I can't control if they're making sales and I'm not. Can't control whether they are hitting 10, 20, 30, 50, 100K per month. I can only control my own emotional state and the inputs I'm putting into my business. My inputs into my... Is that the right English? Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, so basically the whole idea of this is that I've said before, make sure you stay focused on the task at hand and blah, 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 which is true. That doesn't change. It hasn't changed. But the thing to bear in mind is that if you start feeling this way yourself because you've set this high expectation, you're not hitting it in the time frame that you want, it's not that the thing that you're doing isn't working. Don't start from zero by absorbing another marketer's pain point that they're like bringing to the surface for you, right? Excuse me, sorry. I feel like I'm about to sneeze my butt off. Oh, man. Right, so don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. See, like when it pops up, when you read an email and it's like, oh, that looks good. Maybe this is the secret sauce that I need to excel when I wasn't excelling before. If that does happen, then just start thinking like this. Think, okay, what's going to happen if I redirect my attention now? And I'll give you guys a little story. When I was a younger man, way back when I was younger, and I sort of had this expectation that things would take off, and I worked pretty hard for the most part and quite determined, so I thought, cool, I can outwork anyone and I'll just, I'll kick butt at this whole thing. And so then, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. It's like a fly went into my nose and then just like, was just buzzing around in there. It's really weird. Oh, so itchy. Anyways, what was I saying? Shit, lost my train of thought. Give me a sec. I told you these were going to be uncut, right? So I don't recall what I was saying, but basically the crux of everything. Oh yeah, story time, that's right. So when I got started, and I had this expectation that I could outwork people, and I was pretty determined, and I could pick things up pretty quickly back in the day. And I was like, sweet, I'll build out some blogs and I'll just dominate and create a whole bunch of blogs related to the financial markets. And the reality was that didn't transpire. Now, every time I'd hit a roadblock, I thought I had a good work ethic, and I thought I would just, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not quitting, which I never did really. I did keep going for 7.5 years before things took off in my affiliate business. But I wavered, and I kind of did give up in some ways. So what would happen is, going back to the blogging for argument's sake, set up 3 blogs related to financial markets at the same time for some weird reason, as you do when you only got like an hour or 2 at night to work on your stupid business. But anyways, so I thought it was a good idea to set up these 3 blogs. And basically what happened was, once things got hard and I realized, okay, I'm gonna have to scrap this whole project because a myriad of different reasons. But then it meant, oh my God, this is bloody... What it meant was that I had to deviate my attention. I had to deviate my attention from going, okay, cool, I'm going to build a blog, to now I'm going to try CPA marketing. And okay, this is really hard. I'm blowing through heaps of cash and ad spend, but I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff across a whole bunch of networks. I kept thinking, oh, it must be the traffic source. I need better traffic. Okay, I found the better traffic. Now what? Because everyone else is making money here. It wasn't working for me. Okay, cool. Now what? Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to go back to e-commerce because it's what my mum built an empire around. I grew up with it, so I'm going to do e-commerce. Okay, my ad account got shut down for Facebook. Okay, crap, what do I do? Well, this is pretty hard. The margins are really thin. I've tested a whole bunch of products. Things aren't working out. What do I do now? Let's try Kindle. Let's give Kindle a shot, right? And I only put out 1 book on Kindle, by the way, before pivoting yet again. And so my point being with all this stuff is, it's so hard to stay focused. And I speak of this based on my own experience, because every time things would just not work, it would plant a seed of, there must be something better, easier, whatever. And I would fall for that. And I would go and buy this new thing, this training that would teach me how to do the thing over here on Pinterest or on Twitter or whatever it was, only to have to start at zero yet again. Right? So if you see yourself in these words, or you hear yourself in these words more accurately, just stay focused. And if you start feeling like, okay, I must be missing something, then only do things that are aligning with where you're currently going. Right? That's my rule of thumb now. If I'm buying programs, which I still buy a ton of, by the way, spend more on my education now than I ever have. And every time I spend more on my education, it accelerates my personal growth, of course, but it also accelerates my revenue in my business as well. So my rule of thumb is that I will only invest in my business, in a program, whatever, if it helps to slingshot me forward in the direction that I'm heading. If it's a deviation of that, Like say for example, I'm doing predominantly Facebook organic stuff through my Facebook group. Go check out ultimatemarketingmastermind.com if you're interested. But if it was, for example, how to write on Kindle, it would be an interest potentially, but it's not. That's not slingshotting me forward, is it? Like that's a whole other thing I would then be getting into, which defeats the purpose massively. Right. So anyway, that's it for today. I sort of rambled on, and now if I'm going to go fix this whole nose thing, it's bothering me tremendously. You guys have a good one. Let me know your thoughts below. Smash that like button. Feel free to subscribe if you want more of this stuff, and see you in the next one. Cheers.